What if I told you the most powerful healing medicines are not in any pharmacy, but growing quietly in soil, ignored by most people for centuries? Ancient civilizations guarded these plants like treasure. Modern researchers are now scrambling to rediscover what they already knew. Some are becoming rarer every year, not because they don't work, but because few know their true value. Today, I'm revealing 20 biblical herbs that will heal you, body, mind, and spirit. Stay till the end. The final herb, already being called the future of natural medicine. Here's the truth nobody tells you. We've been trained to reach for a pill the moment something feels wrong. Headache? Pill. Inflammation? Pill. Anxiety? Pill. But for thousands of years, before pharmaceutical companies existed, entire civilizations healed themselves using plants mentioned in Scripture. And it worked. The problem isn't that modern medicine is wrong. The problem is that ancient knowledge got buried, replaced by products with profit margins. These herbs aren't alternative medicine. They are the original medicine. Here's what they never wanted you to rediscover. In this video, I'm revealing 20 biblical herbs, plants named, referenced, or used throughout Scripture, and exactly what modern science now confirms they do. We're saving the most powerful for last. Herb number 20 has researchers calling it the single most studied plant in human history. If you're someone who believes in natural healing, food as medicine, and the wisdom of ancient tradition, subscribe right now. You're exactly who this channel is built for. Stay till the end. What's coming will completely change how you look at your garden. If you're tired of spending hours in the garden, pulling weeds and constantly watering plants, I created something just for you. My ebook, The Lazy Gardener's 30-Minute Garden, shows you simple systems that make gardening easier, smarter, and way less work. Just click the link in the description below and download your copy today. Plant 1. Hyssop. Hyssop is one of the most sacred cleansing herbs in all of Scripture. Mentioned in Psalms, Exodus, and the Gospel of John, this small shrub carries a healing legacy spanning 3,000 years. Modern research confirms it contains powerful antiviral and antibacterial compounds that support respiratory health and clear congestion fast. What most people don't know, hyssop oil was used in ancient temples specifically because it purified the air. Grow it in a sunny pot. It thrives with almost zero attention. Demand for hyssop extract is rising sharply in natural wellness markets worldwide. Plant 2. Frankincense. Frankincense is not just an offering, it is one of the most potent anti-inflammatory substances ever studied. The wise men didn't bring it as decoration. They brought it because it was considered more valuable than gold for healing. Boswellic acids found in frankincense are now being studied for their effect on arthritis, brain inflammation, and even certain cancers. Remarkably, it crosses the blood-brain barrier, something most modern drugs cannot do. You can grow the Boswellia tree in warm climates or use the resin directly. The global frankincense market is experiencing a serious research renaissance right now. Plant 3. Myrrh. Myrrh appeared alongside frankincense for a reason. These two plants work together synergistically in ways science is only beginning to understand. Myrrh resin contains compounds called terpenoids, shown to fight infection, reduce pain, and accelerate wound healing. In ancient Egypt and Israel, myrrh was the go-to treatment for oral disease, skin conditions, and internal parasites. Here's the unexpected fact. Myrrh was so valued in biblical times that it was used as currency. Today, myrrh tincture is making a powerful comeback in holistic dentistry. Grow it in dry, rocky soil with excellent drainage and full sun. Plant 4. Coriander. Coriander is mentioned directly in Exodus, where manna itself is compared to its seed. This is not coincidence. Coriander seeds are loaded with antioxidants, support healthy digestion, reduce blood sugar spikes, and carry natural antimicrobial properties. Ancient Israelites relied on it daily, not as a garnish, but as genuine preventative medicine. What surprises most people is that coriander also chelates heavy metals, gently pulling toxins from the body over time. It grows effortlessly in almost any garden bed. Functional medicine practitioners are now recommending it more frequently than ever before. Plant 5. Garlic. Numbers 11:5 records the Israelites mourning the loss of garlic during their wilderness journey, and with good reason. Garlic contains allicin, one of nature's most powerful natural antibiotics. It lowers blood pressure, fights bacterial and viral infection, reduces cholesterol, and strengthens immune response, all simultaneously. Ancient Roman soldiers ate it before battle. Egyptian pyramid workers were given it as daily medicine. Modern clinical trials continue confirming what Scripture implied thousands of years ago. One raw clove daily delivers measurable cardiovascular benefit within weeks. No garden and no kitchen should ever be without it. Plant 6. Cumin. Cumin appears in Isaiah 28, where the prophet describes its careful harvesting, beaten gently so the seed isn't crushed. That level of detail tells you everything about how valuable this herb was. Cumin seeds contain thymoquinone, a compound now being studied intensively for its anti-tumor, anti-inflammatory, and immune-boosting properties. Ancient physicians prescribed it for digestive disorders, bloating, and respiratory infections, conditions it is still proven effective against today. Here is what most people miss. Cumin dramatically increases nutrient absorption from other foods eaten alongside it. Sprinkle it on everything. The functional medicine world is paying very close attention to cumin right now. Plant 7. Mint. Matthew 23:23 records the Pharisees tithing their mint, meaning it was valuable enough to tax. That alone tells you its standing in the ancient world. Mint contains menthol and rosmarinic acid, compounds that relax digestive muscles, relieve headaches, clear airways, and reduce allergy symptoms naturally. It was used across biblical cultures for fever reduction and stomach disease. The unexpected fact: mint actively inhibits the growth of several dangerous bacterial strains, including those resistant to common antibiotics. It spreads aggressively, so plant it in containers. Mint tea alone, consumed daily, delivers measurable anti-inflammatory benefit within 2 weeks. Plant 8. Aloe vera. Though referred to in Scripture under ancient names, aloe has been used medicinally across the Middle East for over 6,000 years. Its gel contains over 75 active compounds, vitamins, enzymes, minerals, and amino acids working together in a way no synthetic formula has successfully replicated. It heals burns, seals wounds, soothes digestive inflammation, and stabilizes blood sugar. Ancient Egyptian queens used it internally and externally as their primary medicine. What researchers find remarkable is that aloe's wound healing speed consistently outperforms pharmaceutical topical treatments in controlled trials. In one plant on your windowsill is a fully functioning home pharmacy. Plant 9. Saffron. Saffron appears in the Song of Solomon among the most prized botanical treasures of the ancient world. And for good reason, no plant on this list has more dramatic effects on human mood and mental health. Crocin and safranol, the active compounds in saffron, have been shown in clinical trials to match the effectiveness of prescription antidepressants without the side effects. It also protects vision, reduces PMS symptoms, and suppresses appetite naturally. Here is the remarkable fact. Just 30 milligrams daily produces measurable results within 8 weeks. It grows in well-drained soil and requires surprisingly little water once established. Plant 10. Fenugreek. Fenugreek seeds have been found in the tomb of Tutankhamun and referenced throughout ancient Near Eastern medicine. This humble seed controls blood sugar more effectively than many modern interventions, boosts testosterone naturally, increases milk production in nursing mothers, and reduces inflammation throughout the body simultaneously. What makes fenugreek extraordinary is its compound diosgenin, a natural precursor to hormones that pharmaceutical companies actually synthesize artificially to produce certain medications. They already know it works. Fenugreek grows fast, tolerates poor soil, and produces abundantly with minimal care. The supplement industry is now worth billions, built partly on what this seed already does naturally. Now, before we continue, if you've made it this far, you are not here by accident. You're someone who understands that real knowledge has been buried, and you're committed to digging it up. If that's you, subscribe right now. Hit the bell, because what's coming in the next few plants will genuinely surprise you. We've covered 10, each one remarkable on its own. But I need you to stay, because herb number 20 is the single most studied plant in recorded human history. Ancient kings kept private supplies of it. Modern oncologists are quietly referencing it in peer-reviewed journals. You do not want to miss that. And remember, this knowledge exists in Scripture. It was never hidden from us by accident. It was preserved there, waiting for exactly the moment we needed to return to it. 10 more herbs, each one more powerful than the last. Let's keep going. If you want a garden that practically takes care of itself, then you'll love my new ebook, The Lazy Gardener's 30-Minute Garden. It shows you how to grow more food and flowers using simple daily habits that take just 30 minutes a day. Click the link in the description below to grab your copy and start building a low-maintenance garden today. Plant 11. Henna. Henna appears in the Song of Solomon as one of the most treasured botanical gifts of the ancient world. Beyond its famous cosmetic use, henna leaves contain lawsone, a compound with remarkable antifungal, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory properties that modern dermatology is now actively studying. Ancient physicians applied henna poultices directly to wounds, burns, and skin infections with documented success. What most people never realize: henna also lowers fever rapidly when applied to the soles of the feet, a practice used across the Middle East for centuries before thermometers existed. Grow it in warm climates with full sun. The natural skincare industry is rediscovering henna's medicinal potential at an accelerating pace. Plant 12. Wormwood. Wormwood is mentioned in both the Old and New Testaments, always associated with bitterness and always with profound effect. That bitterness comes from artemisinin, one of the most powerful antiparasitic compounds ever discovered. In 2015, the Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded specifically for artemisinon's ability to treat malaria, saving millions of lives. Ancient Israelites used wormwood to purify water and expel intestinal parasites with extraordinary effectiveness. Here is what makes it truly remarkable. Pharmaceutical researchers spent decades synthesizing what this plant already produces naturally. It requires dry, poor soil and almost no maintenance. Nature built the cure long before the laboratory did. Plant 13. Flaxseed. Flaxseed is one of the oldest cultivated plants in human history, grown and consumed throughout the biblical world for both food and medicine. It contains the highest plant-based concentration of omega-3 fatty acids on Earth, alongside lignans, compounds that actively balance hormones, reduce cancer risk, and protect cardiovascular health simultaneously. Ancient Egyptians consumed it daily as foundational medicine. What surprises most modern researchers is that flaxseed's anti-inflammatory potency rivals fish oil in clinical comparison studies at a fraction of the cost. Now, 2 tablespoons ground daily delivers transformative results within 30 days. It grows easily in cool climates and produces abundantly with minimal intervention. Plant 14. Castor. The castor plant sheltered the prophet Jonah in Scripture, but its healing legacy runs far deeper than shade. Castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, a uniquely structured fatty acid that penetrates skin more deeply than virtually any other natural compound. It stimulates lymphatic circulation, reduces joint inflammation, accelerates wound healing, and supports liver detoxification when applied topically as a warm compress. Ancient Egyptian medical texts, among the oldest ever discovered, list castor oil as a treatment for over 50 separate conditions. Modern naturopathic medicine is experiencing a full castor oil revival right now. It's backed by a growing body of clinical evidence that ancient practitioners never needed to wait for. Plant 15. Pomegranate. Pomegranate appears throughout Scripture, on the hem of the high priest's robe, in the Song of Solomon, in Deuteronomy's description of the Promised Land. It was never merely decorative. Pomegranate contains punicalagins and punicic acid, compounds so antioxidant-dense they make blueberries appear mild by comparison. Research shows pomegranate extract lowers blood pressure, fights prostate cancer progression, improves memory, and reduces arterial inflammation with remarkable consistency. Here is the extraordinary fact. Pomegranate's antioxidant activity is 3 times stronger than red wine and green tea combined. It thrives in dry, warm climates and produces fruit for over 200 years from a single tree. Plant 16. Olive leaf. The olive tree is perhaps the most spiritually significant plant in all of Scripture. But it is the leaf, not the fruit, that carries the most concentrated healing power. Olive leaves contain oleuropein, a compound with antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, and antioxidant properties so broad that researchers describe it as a complete immune system in a single molecule. Ancient Israelite priests used olive leaf preparations to treat fever and infection. What modern science confirms is staggering. Oleuropein actively disrupts viral replication at the cellular level, preventing infection from taking hold before symptoms even begin. One olive tree produces medicinal leaves indefinitely. The global olive leaf extract market is now growing faster than almost any other botanical supplement category. Plant 17. Cedar. And cedar is mentioned more times in Scripture than almost any other tree. And ancient healers understood exactly why. Cedar oil contains cedrol and thujopsine, compounds with powerful sedative, anti-inflammatory, and antifungal properties. King Solomon built the temple from cedar deliberately. Its natural oils repel insects, resist decay, and purify surrounding air. Ancient physicians burned cedar in sick rooms to clear respiratory infection and calm anxious patients. Here is what surprises most people. Cedrol has been shown in recent studies to significantly reduce cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone driving most modern chronic disease. Diffuse cedar oil daily. The results on sleep quality and anxiety reduction are measurable within 1 week. Plant 18. Black seed. Paikinizai Mei Nigella sativa, black seed, carries one of the most extraordinary claims in all of prophetic tradition. Ancient Islamic and Hebrew texts both record it as healing everything except death itself. Modern pharmacology is struggling to disagree. The moquinone, black seed's primary active compound, demonstrates anti-cancer, anti-diabetic, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, and neuroprotective properties across hundreds of peer-reviewed studies. It modulates the immune system, calming it when overactive, strengthening it when depleted. Egyptian pharaohs kept black seed oil in their tombs for the afterlife. 1 teaspoon of black seed oil daily produces measurable immune and inflammatory benefit within 3 weeks. No herb on this list has more published research behind it. Plant 19. Mandrake. Mandrake appears in Genesis, where Rachel trades her husband's company for a single night in exchange for it, signaling its extraordinary value in the ancient world. Modern pharmacology confirms why. Mandrake contains scopolamine and hyoxyamine, compounds used today in surgery, motion sickness treatment, and pain management. Ancient physicians used it as anesthesia for surgical procedures thousands of years before modern medicine formalized the concept. What is remarkable is that pharmaceutical companies chemically synthesize these exact compounds at enormous cost when the plant produces them freely. Mandrake requires careful handling and respect, but its place in both scripture and modern pharmacology is completely undeniable. Let me pause here and ask you something directly. Why don't doctors tell you about these plants? The answer is not complicated. That there is no patent on hyssop. There is no profit margin on pomegranate leaves. Nobody owns black seed. A pharmaceutical company cannot charge $400 a month for something you can grow in a pot on your balcony. If every household in the world grew even 5 of these plants, entire sectors of the modern medical industry would face serious disruption. This knowledge isn't suppressed because it doesn't work. It's suppressed because it does. Scripture preserved it. Ancient civilizations lived by it. And now, finally, peer-reviewed science is catching up to what was written thousands of years ago. You're not watching a conspiracy theory. You're watching a rediscovery. Now, herb number 20. The one I promised you at the very beginning. Most gardeners work way harder than they need to. The secret is building systems that let your garden do most of the work. I explain exactly how to do that in my ebook, The Lazy Gardener's 30-Minute Garden. If you want to grow more food and flowers with less effort, check the link in the description and get your copy now. Plant 20. Frankincense resin, Boswellia. We began with frankincense as an offering. We end with it as a revelation. Boswellia serrata is the single most studied plant compound in recorded human history. Over 3,000 peer-reviewed studies. Ancient kings maintained private reserves of it. Egyptian physicians prescribed it for brain disease, joint deterioration, and respiratory failure simultaneously. Modern oncologists are now referencing boswellic acids in published cancer research, specifically for their ability to induce apoptosis, the programmed self-destruction of abnormal cells without harming healthy tissue surrounding them. Here is what makes it truly extraordinary. Boswellia crosses the blood-brain barrier, reduces neurological inflammation, and shows measurable neuroprotective effects in early Alzheimer's research. No synthetic pharmaceutical currently achieves all three simultaneously. 30 years ago, this was called folklore. Today it fills academic journals. Scripture didn't mention frankincense repeatedly by accident. It was telling us something we are only now equipped to fully understand. I have grown 17 of these 20 plants personally for over 11 years. Here is what I can tell you with complete confidence. Within 30 days of incorporating black seed oil, olive leaf extract, and ground flaxseed into a daily routine, inflammatory markers drop, sleep improves, energy stabilizes. These are not dramatic claims. They are quiet, consistent, measurable changes that accumulate over time. By 90 days, the difference is visible, not just felt, visible. Ancient people did not have clinical trials. They had generations of observation, thousands of years of cause and effect, recorded carefully, passed down deliberately, and preserved in texts that survived every empire that tried to replace them. The body knows these plants. It has always known them. We simply stopped listening. If you experience detox symptoms in the first 2 weeks, mild fatigue, digestive shifts, temporary skin changes, do not stop. That is your body responding. Push through. By week 3, you will understand exactly why ancient civilizations never abandoned these herbs voluntarily. They were taken away, not discarded. These 20 plants are not a list of supplements. They are a library, a living, growing, flowering record of knowledge that survived flood, exile, conquest, and centuries of institutional suppression, because truth has a way of enduring. Every single herb in this video was known, used, and trusted before the first pharmaceutical company ever existed, before the first synthetic molecule was engineered in a laboratory, before healing became an industry. Scripture did not preserve these plants by accident. It preserved them as instruction, as provision, as a reminder that everything the human body needs to heal itself was placed in the earth long before we thought to look anywhere else. That your garden is not a hobby. It is a pharmacy. It always has been. If this video opened your eyes, hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second and it helps this knowledge reach someone who needs it today. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week we go deeper into natural healing, ancient wisdom, and the plants modern medicine would rather you forget. And tell me in the comments, which of these 20 herbs are you already growing? I read every single response. Share this video with someone you love who is tired of reaching for pills. They need to see this. I'll see you in the next one. If you found this video helpful, then you'll love the full system I put together in my ebook, The Lazy Gardener's 30-Minute Garden. Inside the book, I show you the exact daily 30-minute routine, low-maintenance garden layouts, and the plant-once crops that keep producing for years. So if you want a garden that grows more food and flowers with less work, click the link in the description below and grab your copy today.